Here's more proof that black and white have nothing to do with race and that we're talking legal status. This is exactly why I say so-called black, so-called white, quote-unquote black, quote-unquote white. Because those are just made-up terms and they have nothing to do with race. Dr. Mostafa Hefny exposed the Illuminati by talking about this. And I suggest that you sign this petition. If for no other reason, because it promotes the truth. And the truth is that black and white have nothing to do with race. Egyptian born, or Kemet, Dr. Mostafa Hefny has been fighting for the past 25 plus years with the United States government for the right to call himself black. Decades ago, Hefny was harassed by his former employers in Detroit, Michigan for wanting to be classified as a black man, and his job was even threatened. He was informed that he has nothing to do with so-called black people because he has a history and a culture. So-called black people come from the jungle, they lie and steal, and when they see a black person in their neighborhood, they call the police. And if you think this sounds even the least bit exaggerated, then if you visit my blog underneath this story about Mostafa Hefny, meatmagazine.blogspot.com, I'm not going to get into it in this video too much, but there was an ABC show about young people who were vandalizing a car. They had 3 Caucasian actors and 3 so-called black actors about the same age, and they had them in a park over in New Jersey. And they were vandalizing the car, and as people walked by, people would react to it. And you would have to see for yourself. It's ABC 2020, what would you do? Vandals, racism in America, or something like that. But anyway, I have it posted on my blog. Pretty much the police were called 10 times on the so-called blacks and 1 time on the so-called whites. So you see how statistics turn out? His people have a different reaction when the person is a so-called black person. They want to feel like they're under some sort of alleged threat, so then that way they can react in an overly aggressive manner, because that's who these people are anyway. So basically, not only did they call the police on these young men 10 times when they were so-called black, one of the actors had 2 of his family members sleeping in a car waiting for him as he was doing his job, completing his acting gig, because he was, a young person, so they gave him a ride. And as they were sleeping in the car, these 2 people got the police called on them. Now, they didn't just get the police called on them once, but they got the police called on them twice. Now, I've heard of one instance of racial profiling called driving while black, but could you imagine being busted for sleeping while black? I mean, what's next? Breathing while black? I mean, it's just freaking ridiculous. But anyway, back to Mostafa Hefny. So this was 25 years ago he began his fight. 25 plus years ago. Fast forward to nowadays, he's filed 2 lawsuits, and to this day he still feels humiliated. The harrowing ordeal caused him to lose not only his car and his house, he also lost his professional career and was forced to file for bankruptcy. Now, since his initial news interviews decades ago, he was fired 5 times by different employers and forced to quit his 6th job. If you're interested in hearing more of his story, be sure to check out his persecution and struggle video on YouTube. It was an update from 2012. So the question remains, why would they not let this man call himself black? Because he's not black. We appear to be brown. And like I said in another blog and video, Taj Tariq Bey once said, quote, "My people think they are a box of crayons." You see, this whole being a black person thing is just a mere fiction, because black people don't exist. And that is why he was told that he has a culture and you don't. Because you call yourself black and that's just a made up thing. There is no black on the map, and at the end of the day, it's a made up pseudo ethnicity. Once everybody knows that the original so-called Egyptians were so-called black people, and once everybody knows that we aren't this silly image that the media and their psyops or psychological operations people from the military put together this false image of, once we crack that egg, I quote Ian Smart, white supremacy has nothing to stand on. It's baseless. We just have to crack that shell, okay? Make sure to check out his petition as well as his Facebook page. The information is available on my blog, meatmagazine.blogspot.com. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Meat Magazine, on YouTube.